According to a study, people over the age of 70 were found to live 22% longer if they had a network of true friends. Fake friends tell you pretty lies, but true friends tell you the ugly truth. Be strong enough to walk away from what isn't best for you, and be patient enough to wait for the blessings you deserve. When your mind is weak, a situation becomes a problem. When your mind is balanced, a situation becomes a challenge. But when your mind is strong, a situation becomes an opportunity. 2 fundamentals for a cool life: walk like you are a king, or walk like you don't care who the king is. It's never too late to start over. If you weren't happy with yesterday, try something different today. Don't stay stuck. Do better. You can never win by playing dirty. Karma is real, and you reap what you sow. What goes around comes back around. When someone lies to you, it's because they don't respect you enough to be honest and think you're too stupid to notice the difference. Everything is temporary: emotions, thoughts, people, and scenery. Don't become attached. Just flow with it. Don't feel low when someone doubts your abilities. Be proud of yourself, because people always doubt gold for its purity, not iron. Money is the worst discovery of human life, but it's the most trusted material to test human nature. The tiny seed knew that in order to grow, it needed to be dropped in dirt, covered in darkness, and struggle to reach the light. Relationships end too soon because people stop putting in the same effort to keep you as they did to win you. We are more likely to trust those who genuinely express their weaknesses or vulnerabilities. Psychology says it takes a second to make a mistake, but a lifetime to try to forget it. Humans are biologically wired to become attached to what's familiar, which is why we hold on to things, even when they're bad for us. Research shows that staring at fire improves brain functions like memory and problem-solving, just as it did in early humans. Success is a tasty dish. Patience, intelligence, knowledge, and experience are its ingredients. But hard work is the little salt that makes it delicious. Psychology says time apart is necessary in a relationship, so both partners can realize and appreciate the value of each other's presence. People think being alone makes you lonely, but that's not true. Being surrounded by the wrong people is the loneliest thing in the world. Interacting with women, especially those they find extremely attractive, often makes men act foolishly. Couples who spend more money on their weddings have higher divorce rates, a study found. While missing someone who is also missing you can be sweetly painful, it can also feel like a gradual death. Lack of sleep and irregular sleeping patterns can lead to premature death. Your emotions can affect your physical body. Jealousy is known to cause stomach aches, and stress can cause headaches. Couples who live together before engagement have higher divorce rates than those who wait. Distance doesn't matter when the roots of your relationship are strong. There is a type of music called binaural beats that can make you feel high and trigger special dreams. The smell of oranges relieves stress. Simply smelling an orange or eating one can reduce stress by 70%. Strong people stand up for themselves. Stronger people stand up for others. Even the greatest was once a beginner. Don't be afraid to take that first step. Ignore the jealous and hateful comments, though it may be hard to do. Ignoring comments from jealous people shows them you're not going to validate their feelings. Holding a grudge or harboring angry feelings of any kind can negatively affect your sleep. Addressing people by their names helps to establish trust. Research shows that long-term couples with deep, strong connections can successfully soothe each other in stressful situations, or when one is in pain, simply by holding hands. When people walk out of your life, let them. You might miss them, but remember, you're not the one who gave up. Higher facial similarity in couples is associated with greater marital satisfaction and happiness. A good relationship is one where someone accepts your past, supports your present, and encourages your future. You will be toxic to everyone who tries to love you until you heal and love yourself first. According to recent studies, people who fuss over small errors or overreact to minor problems are usually lonely and unloved. Studies also show that attractive women who wear makeup are often perceived as more aggressive by other women. 3 things you cannot recover in life: the moment after it's missed, the word after it's said, and the time after it's wasted. A study found that when people were asked by a stranger if they would sleep with them, 75% of men said yes, while every single woman said no. When a woman no longer gets frustrated or upset with you, it's almost a guarantee that she no longer cares. Men may feel the effects of a virus more than women because high levels of testosterone can suppress their immune systems. A good relationship is with someone who knows all your insecurities and imperfections, but still loves you for who you are. Lying requires a lot of mental effort because a person who lies has to keep both the lie and the truth in mind simultaneously. As a result, they tend to use simple sentences and find it harder to cope with mental tasks. Kissing someone sets off fireworks in your body and mind, giving you a strange but wonderful feeling. Normalize marrying a man who isn't financially stable. You can grow together. Don't put unnecessary pressure on men. When a woman's body is hungry for intimacy, 4 signs may appear. She might bite her lips, touch you more often than usual, blush, or add sway to her hips. Hypersomnia is a condition where a person can sleep for 12 to 15 hours, but still wake up feeling tired. People think a soulmate is your perfect fit, and that's what everyone desires. But a true soulmate is a mirror, the person who shows you everything holding you back, the one who brings things to your attention so you can change your life. Many people think love is full of joy, smiles, and romance. But the truth is that love is also filled with hurt, pain, and tears. When someone loses their love for you, they will first change their attitude and tone. Interesting psychological facts about love and human behavior. People who are at the same level of attractiveness are more likely to end up together. Hugs, lasting over 20 seconds, release oxytocin, a chemical that builds trust. Simply looking at a picture of a loved one can relieve pain. Studies show that people who are happier and more enjoyable to be around are harder to break up with and tend to stay in relationships longer. People often prefer to change the truth rather than alter their views about others. When a man finds a woman attractive, he may flex his muscles or adopt postures to appear taller and stronger. Research shows that relationships are most likely to end within 3 to 5 months of beginning. It only takes about 4 minutes to decide whether or not you like someone. Women's tears have been biologically proven to reduce arousal and lower testosterone levels in men. Expressing gratitude to those you love causes an immediate spike in your happiness. When 2 lovers gaze into each other's eyes, their heart rates synchronize. Parents who view failure negatively tend to have children who believe intelligence is fixed and cannot be increased. Men with deeper voices appear more attractive to women, while women with higher-pitched voices are more attractive to men. Thinking about love enhances creativity, while thinking about sex influences concrete thinking. Women tend to be more attracted to men with prominent cheekbones and strong jawlines, as these are linked to high testosterone levels. Holding hands with someone you love can relieve physical pain, stress, and fear. People find symmetrical faces more attractive, as this is often an indication of good health. People who often help others are generally happier and less likely to get depressed as they age. Men suffering from sleep deprivation are more likely to misinterpret a woman's intentions, assuming she wants to sleep with them. Couples who are too similar are less likely to last. Research shows that emotionally intense experiences, such as a breakup, divorce, or the loss of a loved one, can cause real physical pain in a person's heart. This condition is known as broken heart syndrome. Kind people are seen as more attractive by the opposite gender. Children who grow up in stressful environments with strict parents are more likely to develop the habit of overthinking. As adults, according to studies, women are more attracted to men wearing red than other colors. A relationship should last more than 4 months to be considered a true love story. The more you ignore the one you like, the more you may fall for them. People are often more honest when physically tired, which is why many confessions happen during late-night conversations. Women tend to remember men with deep voices rather than high-pitched ones. People in love have chemical similarities to those with OCD, obsessive-compulsive disorder. Dilated pupils indicate attraction and can make you appear more attractive. People prefer symmetrical faces in their partners because it's unconsciously believed they have better genetics. Men are more attracted to women whose bone structure resembles that of their mother. When you start taking care of yourself, you feel better, look better, and even attract better relationships. Friendships that begin between the ages of 16 and 28 are more likely to be strong and long-lasting. It is said that dancing before leaving the house in the morning can help you face the world with an optimistic perspective. For the first 3 seconds after waking, you may not remember anything. A study shows that living in a place with high water visibility is significantly linked to lower levels of psychological distress. Your pupils can expand up to 45% when you look at someone you love. Waking up in the middle of the night for no apparent reason may indicate that someone is dreaming about you. When someone misses you, there's an 80% chance they will appear in your dream. People tend to prefer the music of artists whose public personalities are similar to their own. Sleeping directly after studying helps you retain what you've learned. Sleeping on your left side has the most health benefits. It aids digestion, boosts brain health, and reduces snoring. If you sense someone is hiding something while talking to you, don't ask repeatedly. Instead, make prolonged eye contact, which will make them uncomfortable and guilty, and you'll be able to discern the truth. Looking into each other's eyes can cause strangers to fall in love. Studies show that individuals who instinctively use sarcasm to answer a frivolous question tend to have a healthy mind. In group settings, people usually look at the person they feel closest to when the group laughs. Women want a lot of sex with the man they love, while men tend to want sex with multiple women. Waking up just 1 hour earlier can reduce a person's risk of major depression by 23%. Lonely people often take long hot baths to replace their lack of a social circle and emotions. When you're ignored by someone you care about deeply, the brain reacts similarly to how it processes physical pain. People tend to value emotional intelligence over pure intelligence in a potential partner. The human head is known to remain conscious for about 20 seconds after being beheaded. Individuals who exercise at least once or twice a week are less likely to suffer from depression or anxiety. Those who worry and overthink often have higher verbal intelligence, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills. People are naturally happier when kept busy. Firstborn children are often described as bossy or responsible, while lastborn children are sometimes described as irresponsible and impulsive. You can actually die from fear because the body releases large amounts of adrenaline, which can be toxic in high quantities. Girls who mature early are more likely to become delinquent and emotionally aggressive as they grow older. When talking to a girl, use her name frequently. it can make her like you more. Women are great problem solvers, and when they're feeling down, they just need to talk to someone who listens sincerely and is there for them. People who masturbate daily have a higher chance of experiencing fatigue, weakness, early ejaculation, which may inhibit sexual activities with a partner, and other issues like penile injury, vision changes, lower back pain, testicular pain, and hair loss. An attractive face is often preferred over an attractive body for long-term relationships. Women tend to think more about what they love throughout the day. Hugging a woman for 20 seconds can boost her self-confidence and happiness. The reason we feel confident singing in the shower is partly due to the reverb, which enhances the voice, adding more bass and making it sound more powerful, thus boosting the singer's confidence. Most people don't really want freedom because it involves responsibility, and responsibility can be frightening. Around 98% of boys are attracted to girls who can make them laugh. When it comes to relationships, 85% of people want perfection, expecting effort from their partners. Always remember, no matter how useless you may feel, you are someone's reason to smile. The most confusing feeling is when your mind hates someone, but your heart still loves them, and you're unsure of what to do. Faith isn't about asking God to stop the storm. It's about trusting Him to guide you through it. The most painful goodbyes are often the ones left unsaid and unexplained. Either someone likes you or they don't. Never try to convince someone of your worth. If a person doesn't appreciate you, they don't deserve you. Respect yourself and be with people who truly value you. Sometimes, the more you get to know someone, the more you lose interest. Sometimes, giving up is the only option because you can't beg someone to treat you the way you treat them. Not everyone deserves an explanation. Sometimes silence is better, letting them assume you're wrong. The saddest part of life is saying goodbye to someone you wish to spend a lifetime with. When you truly love someone, it becomes difficult to leave them. If a guy is in love with you, he'll open up about deep and difficult topics. No one notices your tears, sadness, or pain, but they'll always notice your mistakes. The worst feeling is not wanting to give up on someone, but knowing you have to. The hardest lesson life has taught me is how to stay silent when I have a million words to say. One of the toughest decisions you'll face is choosing whether to walk away or try harder. Just because someone desires you doesn't mean they value you. Don't become addicted to someone. It's hard to forget them when they leave. When a girl says, "What?" it's not because she didn't hear you. She's giving you a chance to change what you said. Real depression is when you act like you've stopped loving the person you still love. Listen carefully to how someone speaks about others when they're with you. This is exactly how they'll talk about you to others. Women are often more attracted to people who can make them laugh. No matter how carefully you choose your words, people will always twist them. People often get mad at you when they can no longer use you. Telling a woman to relax when she's clearly upset will only frustrate her more. When you're no longer friends with someone, respect the secrets they shared with you. That's called integrity. The saying, "opposites attract," is a myth. We're generally drawn to people who share our worldview. You can't heal someone who keeps using their pain as an excuse to hurt you. Romance in the workplace is more likely to lead to marriage than meeting at bars or through friends. People start missing you most when they realize they can't replace you. Love often starts with a feeling, but it endures as a choice to stay. Sometimes all we need is someone who will be there for us, someone who will listen, and someone who will understand. We are often attracted to people we have no chance with. Sometimes the ones who don't talk to you are the ones who want you the most. If you don't clear up misunderstandings in time, they can become the reason for distance, forever. Girls often fall in love with the person who avoids them the most. Everything in life is temporary, so if things are going well, Enjoy it, because it won't last forever. And if things are going badly, don't worry, it won't last forever either. No matter how good you are, if you're in the wrong place, your worth may go unrecognized. Everything will happen for you all of a sudden, and you'll be thankful you didn't give up. Blessings are coming. Believe in that. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. It's tough when the person who makes you feel better is also the one who causes you pain. Without effort and the willingness to experience pain and anxiety, no one grows. In fact, no one achieves anything worth achieving. When making a friend, look at their character, like examining fabric before buying clothes. Giving away someone else's secret is betrayal, but giving away your own is foolishness. I don't think it's necessary to know exactly who I am. My main interest in life is to become someone new, someone I wasn't in the beginning. With the right person, happiness doesn't require effort, it just happens. Be thankful for your blessings and never doubt your struggles. Don't ask why things happen, just be grateful for the strength they give you. God is opening the window of heaven and pouring out blessings for you. Once you fall in love, there's no going back to being just friends. Sometimes you have to let go of the picture of what you thought life would be like and find joy in the story you're actually living. She will come back into your life after being disappointed by people she thought were better than you. There comes a time in life when you must choose whether to turn the page, write another chapter, or simply close the book. A man who remains silent after being disrespected is a scary figure. You can only win when your mind is stronger than your heart. The achievement of one goal should mark the starting point of another. An erect penis has no conscience. The only woman who knows where her man is every night is a widow. A child can play with its mother's breasts, but not with its father's testicles. A fool cannot untie the knot tied by a wise man. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. A beautiful woman is heaven to the eyes, hell to the soul, and purgatory to the pocket. There are no virgins in a maternity ward with smelly fingers. The anger of a penis doesn't destroy the vagina. When a man with a large penis is having sex with a woman, she will simply groan all the way. If money grew on trees, most people would marry monkeys. Only a fool tests the depth of a river with both feet. The man who marries a beautiful woman and the farmer who grows corn by the roadside share the same problem. Knowledge is a garden. Examine what is said, not who is speaking. If someone makes you laugh, it doesn't always mean they love you. Every kind of love is still love, but self-love is supreme. Love spares no one. It touches all. It is better to be loved than to be feared. The quarrels of lovers are the renewal of love. Tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Even a lion protects itself from flies. Don't be so in love that you can't tell when it's raining. Love, like rain, doesn't choose which grass it falls on. When a woman hasn't had sex in a long time, she may become easily frustrated by the smallest things. When two elephants fight, it's the grass that gets hurt. Love doesn't listen to rumors. You know who you love, but you can't always know who loves you. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. A lion doesn't turn around when a small dog barks. A tree that falls makes more noise than a forest that grows. The one who loves an unsightly person is the one who makes them beautiful. Smooth seas don't make skillful sailors. The one who truly loves you is not the one who sees you every day, but the one who seeks you with their heart. When the roots are deep, there's no reason to fear the wind. A wise person will always find a way. A bird that flies off the earth and lands on an anvil is still on the ground. The one who isn't grateful for what they have will never be satisfied. The sun doesn't forget a village just because it's small. A person who forgives quickly will live a peaceful life. The one who eats alone dies alone. A person who doesn't know where they come from will never know where they are going. Someone who isn't loved by their own people is like a tree without roots. A patient person will eat ripe fruit. The one who loves you won't ask you to change, but will help you become a better person. A person who isn't grateful for the little things won't be grateful for the big things. The one who doesn't know how to dance blames the drum. Someone who is patient in one moment of anger will escape 100 days of sorrow. The one who follows in the footsteps of others will never leave their own mark. If you want to eat honey, don't kick over the beehive. A person who doesn't respect their elders won't be respected by their children. Those who don't learn from their mistakes are bound to repeat them. Never have sex with a woman who has bigger life problems. She won't enjoy it. The one who loves you will tell you the truth, even if it hurts. A person who lacks humility will stumble. Never share your dreams with foolish people. Never tell anyone your income. Just show them what you can afford. You have only one life, so live it fully and enjoy it. Never give sadness a single chance. The eyes may be afraid, but the hands still do the work. He who doesn't take risks doesn't drink champagne. A bad dancer blames his testicles. He who digs a grave for his enemy might as well dig one for himself. You can't have two deaths, but you can't avoid one. Don't try to teach someone who already knows. It's nice to visit, but it's better to be home. There's no point in throwing punches after the fight is over. If you're afraid of wolves, don't go into the woods. Without hard work, you wouldn't even get a fish out of a pond. If you rush through something, you'll make people laugh at you. Poverty inspires invention. If you're given something, take it, but if you're being beaten, run. The devil lives in still waters. Everything genius is simple. If a fool prays to God, they will end up smashing their own forehead. Every joke has an element of truth. Don't bring your own rulebook to someone else's monastery. Don't assume there are no crocodiles just because the water is calm. Silver in the beard, the devil in the ribs. Don't set sail on someone else's star. Don't call a dog with a whip in your hand. No medicine can cure hatred. If you know too much, you'll grow old quickly. Once you carry your own water, you'll remember every drop. One falsehood can spoil 1,000 truths. Having a good discussion is like having a treasure in hand. When an old man dies, a library is burned with him. If you think you're too small to make a difference, try spending the night with a mosquito. The one who plants grapes by the roadside and the one who marries a pretty woman share the same problem. Wood already touched by fire is easy to set alight. A united family eats from the same plate. If there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do no harm. When a girl's virginity is lost, her shyness is gone. He who refuses to obey cannot command. It's better to fall from a tree and break your back than to fall in love and break your heart. If a woman doesn't love you, she calls you brother. He may say he loves you, but wait and see what he does for you. When you smile, the world smiles with you. Even in the darkest times, there's hope, because after the long night, there's always light. It's okay to go slowly, as long as you keep moving and don't give up. If you're patient, you can turn a sour grape into a sweet meal. In the end, fairness comes to those who deserve it. Someone who has been bitten by a snake may get scared even by something harmless, like a piece of string. To reach somewhere valuable, you have to take the long way. There are no shortcuts. For many of us, the biggest risk isn't aiming too high and failing, but aiming too low and achieving too little. The ideal time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but if you didn't, the next best time is right now. A fish is always fresh when you catch it. If you want things to change, start by changing yourself. Patience might be tough, but it brings sweet rewards. You can't explore new horizons until you're brave enough to leave the safety of the shore behind. If you can imagine and truly believe in something, you can make it happen. Remember, your determination to succeed matters more than anything else. Happiness isn't something you find ready-made. It comes from what you do. Every year, we often wish for what we had in the year before. You can judge if a year is good by how its spring begins. We will count the chickens at the end of fall. This means wait and see how it ends. There's no shame in asking questions. The shame lies in not knowing. The monkey couldn't dance and blamed the crooked floor. Keep learning from the beginning of life until the end. Whenever you're standing tall, lend a hand to those who have fallen. You can heal a sword wound, but not the wounds caused by words. If you want a woman to sleep with you, just tell her you love her from the core of your heart. Stones and sparrows are both free. You'll never succeed if you don't try. A bee is always found near the flower. If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. Once you feel avoided by someone, never disturb them again. A love like that was a serious illness, one from which you never entirely recover. Remember, when you point a finger at someone, there are 3 more pointing back at you. It's possible to love a human being if you don't know them too well. Keep your distance from people who will never admit they're wrong and always try to make you feel like it's your fault. Some people never go crazy. What truly horrible lives they must lead. The problem with the world is that intelligent people are full of doubts, while the stupid ones are full of confidence. Sometimes you climb out of bed in the morning and think, I'm not going to make it. But you laugh inside, remembering all the times you felt that way. I wanted the whole world or nothing. The problem was, you had to keep choosing between one evil or another, and no matter what you chose, they sliced a little bit more off you, until there was nothing left. The less I needed, the better I felt. Every time you judge someone, you reveal a part of yourself that needs healing. There is always one woman to save you from another, and as that woman saves you, she prepares to destroy you. An intellectual says a simple thing in a hard way. An artist says a hard thing in a simple way. Being alone never felt right. Sometimes it felt good, but it never felt right. The difference between a democracy and a dictatorship is that in a democracy, you vote first and take orders later. In a dictatorship, you don't have to waste your time voting. We are here to laugh at the odds and live our lives so well that death will tremble to take us. As the spirit wanes, the form appears. Some lose all mind and become soul insane. Some lose all soul and become mind intellectual. Some lose both and become accepted. You have to die a few times before you can really live. There are worse things than being alone, but it often takes decades to realize this, and most often when you do, it's too late. And there's nothing worse than too late. If you're losing your soul and you know it, then you've still got a soul left to lose. Love yourself unconditionally, just as you love those closest to you despite their faults. People with no morals often consider themselves more free, but mostly they lack the ability to feel or love. There is a loneliness in this world so great that you can see it in the slow movement of the hands of a clock. Begin saving the world by saving one man at a time. All else is grandiose romanticism. Health does not always come from medicine. Most of the time, it comes from peace of mind, peace in the heart, peace of the soul. It comes from laughter and love. If you reveal your secrets to the wind, you should not blame the wind for revealing them to the trees. No matter how many times a snake sheds its skin, it will always be a snake. Remember that before allowing certain people back into your life. When people start talking against you, it means you are growing. If you're in a position to help someone, help them. God just might be. Every work has to pass through hundreds of difficulties before succeeding. Those who persevere will see the light sooner or later. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. Don't feel sad over someone who gave up on you. Feel sorry for them because they gave up on someone who would have never given up on them. Every woman deserves a man who loves and respects her, and every man deserves a woman who appreciates his efforts. The couples that are meant to be are the ones who go through everything that is meant to tear them apart and come out even stronger. Even the strongest people make time to help others, even if they are struggling with their own problems. Sometimes quiet people really do have a lot to say. They're just being careful about who they open up to. Discussions are always better than arguments, because an argument is to find out who is right, while a discussion is to find out what is right. If a woman lacks emotional connection for a long time, she will begin to understand that she wants more than just physical contact. She will long for an emotional bond that resonates with her heartbeats. Real loneliness is not necessarily limited to when you are alone. Without literature, life is hell. Don't stress about the closed doors behind you. New doors are opening if you keep moving forward. Hugs matter. Remember, one hug from the right person can take all your stress away. It takes about 66 days for the average person to make something a daily habit. Studies suggest that individuals who instinctively use sarcasm to tackle a frivolous question have healthy minds. Individuals with a deep sense of guilt are better at identifying the emotions and concerns of those around them. We're naturally second-minded because other people don't approve. Yawning when someone else yawns is a normal phenomenon, even if you're not tired. One of the myths about its infectiousness is that people catch it to express empathy. An average person's mind wanders 30% of the time. A person's pupils dilate up to 45% when they look at someone they love. During the 7 minutes of neural activity before death, you may see your memories in a dreamlike pattern. Having siblings has been proven to help individuals get along better with peers. The way someone treats employees at an establishment says a lot about their character. Normalize marrying a man who isn't financially stable. You can grow together. Don't put unnecessary pressure on men. People at the same level of attractiveness are more likely to end up together. When you love someone more than they deserve, they will likely hurt you more than you deserve. If the relationship doesn't make you a better person, then you're with the wrong one. In times of discomfort, men typically prefer to touch their faces, while women tend to touch their necks, clothing, jewelry, arms and hair. Invest your time in someone who makes you feel appreciated, even on your worst days. That's real love. Staying quiet doesn't mean you've got nothing to say. It means you don't think they're ready to hear your thoughts. A girl is happiest when she knows you make her your everything in front of everyone. According to a study, people over the age of 70 were found to live 22% longer if they had a network of true friends. Smiling too much is generally a sign that someone is experiencing emotional pain. When you find a king, keep him. When you find a queen, love and protect her. Don't reshuffle your cards. You might end up picking a joker. Real love is when you know they'll never come back, but you still miss them. When someone lies to you, it's because they don't respect you enough to be honest, and they think you're too stupid to know the difference. Love is a kind of heavenly passion that can be enormously pleasing. Blissful women reach a point in their lives where it's not about material things anymore. It's about having a real man to love, trust, and support her. When a woman no longer gets frustrated and upset with you, it's almost certain she doesn't care anymore. Men and women who listen to similar music tend to be better communicators and have longer-lasting relationships. Nothing is as beautiful as seeing someone who has been unlucky in relationships finally being loved effortlessly by the right person. Relationships are not just about kisses, hugs, and romance. They're about trust and never giving up on each other. Keep your distance from people who will never admit they are wrong and always try to make you feel like it's all your fault. Women are more comfortable with someone who tries to get to know them before trying to form a relationship. Psychology says friendship isn't about who you spend the most time with, but who you have the best time with. There are some people who always seem angry and continuously look for conflict. Walk away. The battle they are fighting isn't with you. it's with themselves. Ironically, sometimes the people who don't talk to you are the ones who really want to. Many people think love is full of joy, smiles and romance, but the truth is, love is often full of hurt, pain and crying. When you cut someone out of your life, they will never tell the full story. They will only tell people the part that makes you look bad. Don't force someone to remember you all the time. Just stay silent and let them realize how they will be without you in their life. A finger that wipes away your tears during hard times is greater than 1,000 hands that clapped for your success. When someone stares at your mouth during a conversation, it means they desire to kiss you. If you want to know if someone loves you, look at their eyes. When we are in love, the pupils expand up to 45%. A good relationship is with someone who knows all your insecurities and imperfections, but still loves you for who you are. Some people aren't antisocial, they're just very selective about who they associate with. Loving someone you don't see every day isn't a bad thing. It's proof that love is not in sight but in the heart. You never realize how much you love someone until you lose them, so don't take it for granted. You're most likely to have a crush on someone you know well and interact with regularly. It's a man's job to respect a woman, but it's a woman's job to give him something to respect. Once you love someone truly, you may get them out of your life, but you can't easily get them out of your heart. A true man doesn't need to romance a different girl every night. A true man romances the same girl for the rest of her life. If you break a man's heart and he still respects and cares for you, you have no idea what you've lost. The worst kind of pain doesn't come from enemies. It comes from people you love and trust the most. People change for two reasons. Either their minds have been opened or their hearts have been broken. You keep a lot to yourself because it's difficult to find people who understand. Sometimes things that hurt you the most teach you the greatest lessons of life. A man who truly loves you and wants you in his life forever will never give you reasons to doubt him. People who spend a lot of time on the internet are more likely to be depressed, lonely, and mentally unstable. Someone who becomes angry easily over trivial matters subconsciously desires to be loved. Fresh water does not dry up until everyone drinks from it. Be a good person, but don't waste your time trying to prove it. Whatever is begun in anger ends in shame. A woman's beauty does not lie in her face. A child who is not used to being beaten will cry if you touch him. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. Take care of your health and establish good habits that will serve you for the rest of your life. Someone who loves you will not ask you to change, but will help you become better. Whoever is patient in a moment of anger will be saved from 100 days of sadness. Your time is a precious gift. Make sure it's given to the right people. Whoever does not learn from their mistakes will repeat them. Don't think there are no crocodiles just because the water is calm. You don't have to handle everything on your own. Be willing to ask for help. You cannot grow unless you are willing to change. Someone who loves you will tell you the truth, even if it hurts. Transformation happens only when you put your total energy into it. Chase experience, not things. What you do with your time will enrich your life more than anything you can buy or own. Think good thoughts. Being unhappy is a waste of your precious time. People will start missing you when they see how happy you are without them. Family isn't only defined by genetics, it's the people who love, support, and value you. The only person you can change is yourself. Accept others as they are, but don't expect them to be someone they aren't. Not every closed eye sleeps, and not every open eye sees. When you meet failure, remember that your ideas may not be wrong. Sometimes you've just got the wrong audience. The difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength or knowledge, but rather a lack of will. Trying and failing is not laziness. The bad worker blames his tools. When you cut someone out of your life, They will never tell people the full story. They will only tell people the part that makes you look bad. The bad news is that time flies. The good news is that you're the pilot of your life. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. If a tree doesn't know how to cut, the wind will teach it. No one can be an expert at everything. Don't let what you can't do hold you back. If a woman doesn't love you, she will call you brother. The only woman who knows where her husband is every night is a widow. If you treat someone's leg, don't be surprised if they use it to escape. There are no virgins in the maternity ward. Tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. There is always hope on the other side of despair. The family is like a tree. It can bend, but it cannot break. A man who has a good wife will never be on the road. No medicine can cure hate. If you find yourself getting upset by small things, it may be time to focus on healing. He who grows grapes by the side of the road and he who marries a beautiful woman face the same problem. He who does not have a fence around his land has no enemies. The marks of the whip go away, but the effects of insults do not. If a deaf person does not hear the sound of thunder, he will see the raindrops. If the members of the herd are united, the lion will sleep hungry. Focusing primarily on your problems will only create more problems. Love is like rain. It doesn't choose the grass it falls on. The one who loves you is not the one who sees you every day, but the one who searches for you with his heart. Don't look for where you fell, but where you slipped. A wise man fills his head before he empties his mouth. If a woman screams during intercourse, you know that she is aroused. Once you carry water with you, you will remember every drop. Even if you make mistakes or progress slowly, you are ahead of those who are not trying. Success isn't built by the amount of time you put in, but by what you do during that time. If you raise a human being, you are raising one person. If you raise a woman, you are raising the whole family. It is better to be poor in youth than to be poor in old age. Your friends' problems become your problems. The smaller your social circle, the fewer problems you have. Most people stay in the same place for a reason. The things they hold dear are the anchors that hold them in place. Life can only be understood backward, but it must be lived forward. He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at. You spend all your health initially for wealth, and then you spend all your wealth for one day of good health. Every person in your life is a teacher. Some bring lessons about love and support, while others teach you what to avoid. Lower your expectations. Having high expectations of yourself and others is a recipe for chronic dissatisfaction. With every failure comes the experience needed to do better. Don't ignore a problem you see coming from a mile away. That foresight is a gift. Pay close attention to those who say they love you, because so often they don't. They only use you. Trust in yourself and your first instinct on decisions. People are great at keeping secrets they don't know. Those who say you can't and you won't are usually the ones scared that you will. You don't have to feel good about it. You just have to keep going. The feeling will pass, but you will remain. Don't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. Today is the oldest you've ever been, and the youngest you'll ever be again. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. If you are a so-called nice guy, you might end up in a worse situation than you can imagine. Learn to be self-sufficient and realize you are a mortal who will suffer later if you don't become independent and resourceful. Success is 5% brains and 95% consistency. Be careful who you call your friends. It's better to have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. Just let it be. If it's meant to be, it will happen. A ship in the harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. Set boundaries that work for you.